So when I wrote this book, I was in Pondicherry, looking at the blue lilies and writing about them, about temple ritual of Orissa, to which the state to which I belong. And then we were posted to Chandigarh. My husband was posted as the advisor to the UT of Chandigarh. And here we were celebrating 550 years of Nanak Dev Ji. So Hardeep Ji, I'm really very honored that although I'm the great-granddaughter of Fakir Mohan Senapati, I could be actually compared to the likes of Girish Karnad and R.K. Narayan, who are, you know, the famous Indian mythologists. That was a very big compliment for me.
You know, and some of your paintings are there at the Rashtrapati Bhavan also.
So Hardeep Ji, you know, we have a corridor in the Rashtrapati Bhavan called Art and Steps, where the work of the bureaucrats and their spouses are showcased. You know, because many of them have artistic leanings. So when this corridor was inaugurated, my paintings were, you know, used to inaugurate this corridor, and that's a matter of honor for me, you know, because you know, many bureaucrats and their spouses, their works are displayed in this corridor. So it was it was something which really made me very proud.
No, that's a reason to be proud. We welcome you to our show, Lippy ji, once again.
Thank you so much, Hardeep ji, for having me on your show. It's an honor for me.
Thank you so much. And first of all, we'd like to start off with the early stages of your journey of life. You know, we would like to start from there.
So, you want me to say something about my...
Yeah, your school days, college days, how did you start off? If you can have any fond memories of those days.
So, Hardeep ji, I belong to the family of Vyasakavi Fakir Mohan Senapati. Fakir Mohan Senapati is considered the father of modern Oriya literature, and we have schools and colleges named after him in Orissa, and the Oriya language owes its origin to him, and I'm very proud to have a legacy like that. And my father, being in the Indian Administrative Service, he belonged to the Orissa cadre. And we were moving all over the country. So, so basically, Hardeep ji, I got to see the rest of India also while I was growing up. And then we shifted back to Bhubaneswar after some time. And I spent some of my growing up years in Bhubaneswar.
And how was it like hopping from one city to another along with your father and now with your husband?
So I think I've been quite lucky like that to have my journey repeated in the same way, you know, the same kind of journey that I had with my father as a bureaucrat. The same thing, you know, I've been experiencing with my husband, who's also a bureaucrat. So it's been, you know, very nice, you know, getting to explore the country and getting to know the nooks and corners of our beautiful country, not only the state of Orissa.
You have an artistic bent of mind, you know. We all know from your work, we've seen your work, I've personally seen your work, loved it, most amazing. In your formative years, did you have any interest towards painting?
So Hardeep ji, I'm so flattered to hear your very kind words. So I would like to tell you, Hardeep ji, that you know, the Bhubaneswar, the Orissa in which I was growing up, you know, there was a paucity of, you would be surprised to know, there was paucity of art material, you know. And my father used to bring back canvas boards from Calcutta for me to sort of, you know, paint on. Because, you know, there were no canvas boards available. And as a child, I used to draw on the walls of my parents' home, and I used to be, you know, scolded a lot, you know, because I used to get adventurous artistically, because, you know, there was so much of space to explore, and I used it for to create my art on the walls.
Own murals or something
like
that?
Yes, my own murals, but it was not very much appreciated by my mother especially, who didn't like the idea of me destroying her walls. So finally, when my father got me some canvas boards from Calcutta, I could then sort of, you know, settle to drawing on canvases. So I've always been interested in art, even as a child. You know, it's been there in me early on.
Now let's get on to your book. You know, If the Blue Lotus Sings. First is the title is very, very different to ones that we are normally used to. Secondly, you touched a very, very, if not a controversial, but a very, very touchy subject. So tell us something about the book, then we'll go ahead.
So Hardeep ji, I would like to speak about my novel, which is so very close to my heart. So when my husband was posted as the Chief Secretary in Pondicherry, we had this lily pool which had blue lilies blooming in it. And every morning I used to see these blue lilies greeting me. And looking at the blue lilies, my mind, you know, it got transported to the blue god, you know, Jagannath.
Okay.
Since Puri Jagannath is, you know, a big dham for the Hindus.
Yeah.
And then we were having this 2015 ritual, you know, which was a very controversial ritual. So I got onto exploring this very controversial ritual, a one of its kind ritual in the whole world. So, and how temple politics, you know, how it has become more powerful than the gods themselves. And so I was taking on a very important issue that was close to the heart of every Oriya. So I was writing about the blue lilies, and I was writing about the blue god, and I was writing about this controversial temple ritual called the Nabbakalebara of Orissa, which is a one-of-kind ritual in the whole world.
Okay. So, didn't you ever think that you'll get into trouble with the priests or anything like that?
No, because I have not personally attacked any person.
Okay.
I've just, you know, sort of looked at the commodification of
Lord Jagannath Ji.
Of Lord Jagannath Ji, you know.
The city of Puri holds a big place in Sikh history also. Guru Nanak Ji went there, and you mentioned that in one of your talks that I remember attending,
yes,
you know.
So Hardeep Ji, it's so amazing, you know. I mean, like, it's really amazing the journey that this novel of mine has taken me on. So when I wrote this book, I was in Pondicherry, looking at the blue lilies and writing about them, about temple ritual of Orissa, to which the state to which I belong. And then we were posted to Chandigarh. My husband was posted as advisor to the UT of Chandigarh. And here we were celebrating 550 years of Nanak Dev Ji. And my chapter, one of my most loved chapters in the book, is Ek Onkar Satnam, which touches on Nanak Dev Ji visiting the Puri Jagannath temple.
Okay.
And attending the evening Aarti. And composing the Gagan Mein Thal, which is the most popular Aarti sung in every Gurudwara all over the world,
yes.
Which UNESCO, you know, thought of adopting as a national anthem for itself.
Yeah.
And I never knew that, you know, my work would also connect the places that I would be living in. So that was an amazing journey that my novel took me on, and the Punjabi channels, they loved this aspect of my novel, and they all covered this aspect of my novel, and I was absolutely thrilled.
And since I know you, and I know you're such a humble person, you don't talk much about your achievements, but you're also a proud owner of a world record.
That's right.
So kindly share that with our viewers also.
So Hardeep Ji, I don't know whether you know about the concept of musical paintings. So when my husband was posted in Pondicherry, there is this unique showroom called Swaram.
Okay.
And Swaram has the most unique musical instruments in the whole world.
Okay.
And the director of Swaram, who is an Austrian and a pioneer of sound
technology as such.
Technology in the whole world.
Okay.
You know, sound healing is the next happening thing, and he suggested that I create paintings to the music of the unique instruments of Swaram.
Okay.
And I had a show, and it was very successful. It sold out instantly all over the world.
Okay.
Yes. And So then I was inspired to sort of, create something unique in this field, because musical painting sort of made me something special in the group of artists.
Yeah.
It made me stand out. So I wanted to do even something more special to challenge myself. So I created this world record, which Doordarshan covered,
Okay.
where I created the fastest musical painting in just 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That is, if I tried, I might not be able to do it in 6 years, what you did in 6 hours. One of the journals also compared you with the great Girish Karnad and R.K. Narayanan.
So,
Tell us about that too.
So Hardeep ji, I'm really very honored that although I'm the great granddaughter of Fakir Mohan Senapati, I could be actually compared to the likes of Girish Karnad and
Yeah.
R.K. Narayan, who are the famous Indian mythologists. That
Yeah.
was a very big compliment for me. That the Indian Journal of International Journal of English Literature, Languages and Humanities
They've been-
had that to say about my writing. Yes.
Sir, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
And that is really nice, and some of your paintings are there at the Rashtrapati Bhavan also.
So Hardeep ji, we have a corridor in the Rashtrapati Bhavan called Art and Steps,
Okay.
where the work of the bureaucrats and their spouses are showcased.
Okay.
Because many of them have artistic leanings.
Yeah.
So when this corridor was inaugurated, my paintings were used to inaugurate this corridor, and that's a matter of honor for me, because many bureaucrats and their spouses, their works are displayed in this corridor. So
Okay.
it was it was something which really made me very proud.
No, that says that's a reason to be proud. Another thing that comes to my mind is that during the lockdown, while the people were sitting at their homes and uncomfortable also, not knowing what's going to happen, the fear of the unknown, you were one of the very few people who stepped out and tried to help out people. So can you share, I know you like to keep things to yourself, you don't want to boast much about them, but still I would want you to share with them so that the people learn and maybe take a lesson from you, or take one small thing from you that they can add to society.
So Hardeep ji, like you said, it's not not very nice to speak about the charity that one has done, but I'm really glad that I could help the labour colonies of Chandigarh, as did so many others who could, because as you know, I'm a painter. So all my life I've tried to create great art, but I've never really tried to cash in on my art financially.
Yeah.
So I was preparing food for the hungry children of the labour colonies, and then I thought that the idea came to me that why not use my paintings, to add more, to bring in more resources for the labour colonies. So I really took it on seriously, and I painted a lot and I sold a lot of paintings for the cause of the labour colonies, so that I could provide the ladies with safety kits, and the children could be fed better. And it was the little that I could do, but one person can also make a difference, and I'm glad I could do my little bit for Chandigarh, which has given me so much.
No, we are so grateful as Chandigarhians that you have been here and you made a difference in the lives of many, and also at a time or in a position where you could have sat at home and nobody could have pointed a finger at you or even asked you. So what keeps you moving on? What keeps you motivated to do so many things? You are yourself a huge canvas with so many hues of colors in it. So what keeps you motivated so much?
So Hardeep ji, that's a big compliment you're giving me. So I believe life is a box of crayons. As an artist, I have this belief.
Okay.
Life is a box of crayons, and we should try and use the whole box. So and I think it's very important, to help the world around us in whatever way we can, to do our little bit, little bits of goodness. They create a good world. So every person can do his or her bit to create a difference in the world. This is what I believe.
So let's say you are not, let's take you out from yourself and let you see Lipi Parida as an outsider. What do you see?
So Hardeep ji, I see myself as this lucky person, touched, who has been given this opportunity to be connected to so many causes, to be able to help her society in so many ways that if I would not have been in this position, I would not have been able to do, you know, so many things together at the same time. You know, I'm grateful to God that He has given me this opportunity to serve my society, to serve Chandigarh, and I'm really very grateful. I'm very grateful about it.
What about the Para Sports Society that you are involved with? Tell us something about that.
So, we all know that, you know, the children of these specially challenged
Category, yeah.
Yes, these special children with special abilities, you know, their parents are, you know, sort of trying to make them as happy as they can, and, you know, generally others are not bothered about them, you know. This is one area where, you know, people are sort of not bothered. And I thought that, you know, rather than the other normal children, you know, we should focus on them and give them an opportunity to, you know, perform at their best. Generally, when we are speaking about them, we are looking at their disabilities. So why not give them an opportunity to thrill the world, to impress the world, to make the world sit up and look. Like, look, this is what we can do. Generally, the world looks at them with pity, and I thought we should give them an opportunity to sort of, you know, prove themselves in the eyes of the world and make their parents proud of themselves, of their children.
That's really exceptionally good, you know, and not many people I know of would be doing these kind of things, you know. You are a painter, you are a writer, you do charity and do so much of work, you know. So how do you balance it all?
So Hardeep ji, I would like to tell you that, you know, things were really getting out of control, and I think like with the others, the corona sort of put many things to a standstill, and my life which was actually a big whirlwind, has sort of, you know, become a little normal now thanks to corona. So that is one thing for which I must thank corona. It's more sane and more normal for me now, you know, because otherwise sometimes things can just get out of hand.
How was the experience of living here in Chandigarh?
So Hardeep ji, I would like to tell you that living in Chandigarh is like being in communion with nature. You know, it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling, and I think Chandigarh is the most beautiful city in the whole world. Like I just heard you saying as well, you have lived in so many cities of the world, but you ultimately came back to Chandigarh. So you would understand this very well, that Chandigarh is the most perfect city in the world. This is a place where the soul and the mind and the spirit, they're all in communion, you know. One can actually balance every aspect of oneself in the city. It's a marvelous city. Corbusier really did a good job.
And what about the people who live in the city?
So it's amazing. I mean, Chandigarh, without its people, is nothing. You know, its people are as amazing as the city itself. They are the most culturally vibrant. They are the most amazing. They are the most exceptional people in the whole world. And I can say this to you because I have the experience of moving throughout the different states and union territories of India. And I can confidently tell you, and like I just said, you are such a fine human being. You are an example of a true Chandigarhan, and you know, Chandigarh people are simply amazing. They are exceptional. So
you like Punjabi food and Punjabi music?
So Hardeep ji, I would like to tell you that it's not only me, but I think the whole of India and the whole of the world is in love with Punjabi music and Punjabi food. So that is one aspect that has traveled outside Chandigarh. You know, it's global. Punjabi food and Punjabi culture is global.
And any parting message to our viewers that you would like to share?
So Hardeep ji, it's been so flattering to be in conversation with you.
Yeah, it's a
And
great honor.
I think the parting message for everyone would be to respect their city of Chandigarh, to love it, to cherish it. And I would, really give this message to everyone to try and make Chandigarh as beautiful, more precious. I don't think it's possible, but they should keep on trying it, trying to sort of make it more beautiful and keep it as beautiful as it is, and the best in the world. I think all Chandigarhans should, try and give in their best to keep it as the best city of the world.
So I hope and pray that Chandigarhians listen to, we Chandigarhians, I am also one of them,
Yes.
we listen to you.
You're
and,
one of the best examples.
And we love this city, and I hope anybody who's attached with this city in any form would simply love it. And it was great having a wonderful conversation with you, Lipi ma'am. It's great. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. And
it was an
wonderful.
Awesome conversation, being in conversation with you and your dad, the illustrious Chandpuri ji. We all know Sunny Deol has immortalized him in the film Border, and Border is one of my most favorite films. And today I'm here in conversation with you, his son, and it's the ultimate honor for me. I'm so honored.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Great talking to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.